Game is now underway. Nemesys spawning on the top right. Orange Protoss. Meanwhile, we have Kiri on the bottom left. Cross spawn position on Antigua. Another great map for big macro plays. Another great map. Always fun to see. You get a really big game going. A couple of great back and forth battles. Just like last game, where both players managed to move across the map several times. Both players managed to eliminate their opponent's armies a couple times. Some interesting attempts at drops by Kiri, picked off almost immediately by Nemesys. So Antigua Shipyard is another great one for Forge Fast Expand against Zerg. Obviously FFE doesn't work all that well against Terran. The Terran low-grade units are able to outrange the cannons fairly easily. Just take them out one at a time and just destroy their opponent. Now Nemesys is scouting for an early proxy, which that's kind of weird. I don't see that a lot. I'm not quite sure why he decided to go for that. He's going to come down here, take the middle. Kiri doing the super standard opening. Nemesys likewise, super standard. No cheese. No good luck have cheese. Just a standard opening for both players. Not a whole lot to comment on at the very beginning. We've seen very good games so far. 2 games out of Nemesys and 1 out of Kiri. Both players are really talented. And of course the Clan EP Open number 5 is a weekly tournament run by Clan Eternal Plague. I've got their icon specially added to my my screen for today, as I am a unofficial / official caster, assisting out the Nan Man, the real Nan Man, who is the primary caster for this tournament. Ooh, I like the gas steal by Nemesys. It's going to slow down the Terran's tech play a little bit if he was going to go for tech play at all. Nemesys opening up the wall now. Probably going to build a tech lab. Reactor, tech lab. Reactor. There we go. Reactor now going down. This Marine trying to call off the probe. He lets the assimilator finish. So a really big pain in the butt for Kiri. The probe now does go down. The Marine's going to start working on that assimilator. It's going to take him a while to kill that himself. Meanwhile, Nemesys is chrono boosting out his opening units. Wants to get on with the aggression really early this game. Kiri's moving a scout out across the map. Going to try to find his opponent now that he's already been harassed. Second barracks is going down. It rallied into the assimilator to try to take it down. Building a pylon on the low ground. No early tech structures from Nemesys, primarily because he's completely out of minerals. So he's doing a really good job spending down his opponent. Now there's 3 Marines working on that assimilator. They're going to eventually take it down. Factory now going down for Kiri. Not a whole lot happening up in Nemesys' base. I think he's waiting for the expo. Yep, there we go. 1 gate expansion. Possible due to that early pressure. Kiri's now got a bunch of Marines coming up in his main. He's building the tech lab on his second barracks as opposed to the first last time. Command center now going down for Kiri. He's able to build this gas now if he so chooses, but instead he's going to throw down another barracks. So no tech up play for Kiri this game. 2 stalkers now moving out across the map. The Zealot left home to defend. The stalker's going to run into these 6 Marines and be like, possibly. We'll find out. Robotics Bay is almost done now for Nemesys. Engineering Bay for Kiri. It looks like he's just going to make a big Marine ball and push to win with it. Nemesys stalkers scouting the fact that there has not been a second taken on the low ground. Running up the ramp, doing a little bit of damage. Not killing any units, being forced back away, taking no damage. The Zealot still patrolling his own base. Robotics facility on the low ground. Scout SCP gets up in there. And now we see the Twilight Council going down for Nemesys. The orbital command just now finishing on the second. We'll see that lift off and probably float down to the natural very soon. Or no, he's floating up. Really interesting play by Kiri. Instead of floating down to the natural where the Protoss knows where it is, he's going to float up and take this hidden Expo. Meanwhile, we've got 2 more gateways coming down from Nemesys, so again, a delayed 3-gate robo. Twilight Council coming down. A lot of Marines, not a whole lot of anything else. Tech Labs researching stim and concussive shells. A bunch of Marauders now rallied out. One observer is going to get in here and see everything that's going on. He's going to scout the lack of a second down here. He's going to run right up into the main. And then his scout path stops. So he's not actually going to get all the way up to this the sort of not so natural yet. I really like that, scouting for the proxy pylon. Looks like the Terran is now going to fake a natural down here, when in reality it's his third. This should throw the Protoss off a little bit, but now we have a Dark Shrine coming down for Nemesys. I really like the DT rush idea. Getting those early DTs, scan on the observer, really nice pickoff by Kiri, denying any of that scouting that he could have otherwise done. So Nemesys now has no idea what his opponent has planned. He picked off the observer right before the worker transfer up to his natural. I like that. And now, I should have said up to his third, because now the base for the natural is coming down. Nemesys is stockpiling quite a lot of gas in preparation for these DTs. Meanwhile, he's got a warp prism coming. Where is this warp prism rallied to? It is rallied to all the way up here, straight into that third. Looks like he's going to try to warp in some units here and push down into the main, but he's going to end up accidentally scouting this second. He's got a small ball of units. He's definitely depending on these DTs to do his damage for him. 3 of them now coming down. He's going to run across the map, run into this bio ball right here. And I can't imagine them getting picked off. I don't think they'll stop to fight. The one DT is getting a little bit ahead of his brothers. If Kiri is looking at this and sees the warp or the ripple, he could scan and notice the DTs. Instead, the army seems to fall back. Oh, that's why. He sees the warp prism in his main, or in his second. He saw the warp in. He's got to know